Welcome to the summary for condensing logarithmic expressions, and congratulations for you making it so far. What I'd like to do is just kind of go over, really the process of condensing, and basically what it is following our order of following our properties of logarithms, the power, especially the power, the product, and the quotient property. So when I was kind of thinking of some tips and tricks really to use, I mean it's really hard. To really kind of think of, what exactly are some, easy ways to think about it, because basically all you're doing is applying your properties and following the order of operations. So remember, when the order of operations, when we're condensing, we cannot condense across if there's multiple numbers added or subtracted. We can only go from the product of two logarithms, the sum of two logarithms into the product of those values into one logarithm. But working from multiplication and division first, and then working into exponents and your parentheses, you're going to want to follow that order. So basically, as long as you know the properties and can just apply them, you'll be pretty okay for condensing logarithmic expressions. However, common mistakes. When we're condensing, I've seen people go from, people go from right to left, or just choose what they want to do. Remember, when we're following the order of operations, or just anytime soon, always want to work from left to right, because that can really mess up the problem if you work from right to left. So always go from left to right. The next thing is the square roots. I see this so many times with students, especially when they're working in the square root. Remember, the square root of 8 is equal to 8 to the 1/2 power. And that can sometimes be very, very important, because a lot of times when we're condensing, a lot of times, what we want to do is we want to write them as a square root. So if we see, a 1/2 log base 3 of 8, we want to write the 1/2 up there and then rewrite it as a square root. Okay, so it's very, very important to make sure that we have that, or understand the relationship of square roots and rational exponents. The next thing is brackets and parentheses. Just make sure you understand the different, brackets and parentheses are pretty much the same thing, but when we're condensing, make sure you just apply order of operation, the innermost parenthesis first, and then work your way out. And one more that I just remembered is not only is when we deal with logarithms, a lot of students get stuck with natural logarithms when they have a base e. It doesn't make a difference if it has a base e, base p, base 5. You can still condense them, but as long as the bases are the same. So when you're condensing, make sure you look for the bases to be exactly the same to apply your properties of exponents. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is just a good overview of how to condense logarithmic expressions. Thanks.